Good morning, YouTubers. It's me, Johnny. I think it's Tuesday. You know, the problem is when you haven't had a job in 5 or 6 years, you forget what day it is in the day of the week. So when you retire or semi-retire, it's good to have a routine. It's good to, have a routine that you do every day. Anyways, I think it's Tuesday. I'm just making a little short video. I think I'm going to leave tomorrow. Sometimes in the comments, there's people who want to contact me. I have a couple emails if you want to contact me. My Yahoo address is Johnny, JHONNY 167 at yahoo.com. That's Johnny, JHONNY 167 at yahoo.com. I have an address at Prosper and Chaos, just spelled out Prosper in Chaos at Gmail. And if you want to contact me through Proton Mail, it's HELVETIA, Helvetia, the way you spell Switzerland in, I think it's, well, how they used to do it in the Roman times. I mean, it's Helvetia, like you see on the Swiss gold coins. Helvetia, capital S, capital H, capital F. So the symbol for like the Swiss franc, if you trade the Swiss franc, Helvetia, CHF, but it's capitalized at Proton Mail. So Helvetia, HELVETIA, capital CHF at Proton Mail. So that's my contact details. If you contact me and you have any questions, just let me know, or I can send you a phone number or something if you want to call me or something like that. Anyways, I don't like posting my US stuff here, even though I'm going to be getting rid of the phone number very, very shortly. Anyhow, I think I'm going to get ready to leave tomorrow. It's a really beautiful day here in Phoenix. It's, I think, in the 60s, almost 70. Maybe it's 72 already. I'm trying to look at my computer to see what it is. It doesn't say. Oh, no, it does say it's 50. Well, according to the computer, it says it's 59, but feels like it's warmer. Anyways, one of the viewers left a comment about Colombia being closed down pretty bad. George Gammon had mentioned. That's true. I would just say to that, in most of Latin America, that didn't happen. That's the trouble. That's why I don't like talking about this stuff, because like George said, in the United States, when he was in Phoenix recently, he had said parts of Arizona aren't really shut down. That's true. No one wears a mask. That's true. Like, I mean, I won't say I never see people wear a mask. That's not a big deal for me. I like wearing a mask. It hides my identity, but there's other things that go with that I don't want to say here, but I like it. Other people don't. That's cool. Anyways, when you get to hide your identity with all this facial, George Gammon talked about facial recognition. I like that. But there's more to that I won't really comment on here. Anyways, he was pointing out, George Gammon, like in parts of the U.S., like in Arizona, and he talked about, I think, Florida. I think he may have a business there. I'm not sure. I can't remember what he said. Things are, depending on what part of Florida you're in, there's no masks, there's no nothing, and then other parts there can be. That's true of Latin America. The other thing I would say is I only mostly spend my time in, like, say, Mexico and Guatemala, and I was there during a lot of the lockdown. Now, I don't like saying this, but the worst part of it is if you're into nightlife, and I'm just going to say nightlife in Guatemala is not even comparable to nightlife in, say, Colombia or Brazil or even the Philippines, for that matter. Why I say that, like, in general, people in Guatemala go to bed early and they get up early, whereas like in Mexico, they stay out real late, maybe 7, 8, 9 in the morning, and then go to bed and then get up at noon. But that's another culture. Well, maybe not another, but it's different. My only point was, during Guatemala, I guess there's still lockdown. I don't really know. But there's no real, well, they say there is, but as a practical matter, there really isn't. That's why I don't like talking about this. Like, well, can I get a thing or this or that when I get at the airport? Like, yeah, you can. You can get taxis and all that. And then the bars used to close at 9. I don't think they close at 9 or 10 anymore, but the bars and bar owners I know many times did not close at 9 or 10. And I just mentioned that when you hear about it, you have to keep that in mind. Like the hard lockdown I saw was basically in Colombia. Brazil was barely locked down. And now there's a lot of other countries that were, like I think Ecuador. And the reason I mentioned Colombia mostly is because I know people there, and they were so distressed with that lockdown, they just left and went to Mexico and other places. Anyways, oh yes, I want to mention Peru. Peru, I know people there too. They were locked down pretty hard. Like in those countries, yeah, that's true. And I don't think we're going back to that, but we'll have to see. But mainly all that stuff happens in the big capital cities, like in the hinterlands, like in Mexico, Guatemala. Like 3 months ago when I was just in Guatemala, or less than that actually, the masks were starting to come off. They barely wear masks in Mexico. And again, it really depends. Like if you're in the Caribbean part, or Jose, I forget his name, he's got a channel. People are wearing masks there. Other parts of Mexico are not like that. Like, not even on, well, you're supposed to wear it on the bus, but no one really did it, I noticed. And I'm talking from southern Mexico all the way up to the north. Like, hardly anyone wore a mask. So, just keep that in mind. And the other thing is, at least when I was there, like you can go into any restaurant. There's not like half the tables are like you can go to, another half you can't. Maybe like at McDonald's or something. But even then, I don't remember. I think they stopped doing that. Anyways, I don't know. It's only the big chains that do a lot of that stuff. So that's what I got to say about that. I guess I'm more optimistic because some of the information I got about Eastern Europe doing some of these really, really draconian, there's going to be I wouldn't want to call it a passport, but a thing you're going to have to put on your phone. And with all this AI technology and the QR codes and it's mandated by law, you're going to have to do it. And it's Eastern Europe, not Western. I just want to be clear, Eastern Europe, not Western Europe. I think that's going to start catching on in Europe. You already, well, I just will say in certain private networks I'm involved in, you already seen people talking about it and they're just like getting the hell out. There's a YouTuber in Canada, I forget his name, Entrepreneur in Cars, or Entrepreneur in Car. He was advising like students and foreigners who are there to probably get out now because they're planning. I don't know if they're going to do some draconian stuff. My view is just I'm just keeping my options open. I have a residency and I may get something in South America. Just my playgrounds for me is just Latin America and then the Philippines. So that's just me. So with what I've done, I can go to all those places even without a U.S. passport. So anyways, we'll just let that go, I think. Well, anyways, just in my experiences, once you're out in the hinterlands or you're in the campo, a lot of this stuff falls by the wayside. And even now in the big cities, like when I was in Mexico City, San Luis, like it's like things are normal. Now, again, I've never really been to the Caribbean part. Now, I know people there, and then Jose, he makes videos there, and I guess they had mask mandates and stuff like that. Other parts, maybe they did. I never saw people wear a mask. So what I have to say is in Mexico, it was quite a bit different than Guatemala. Like, generally speaking, people didn't really wear masks. Some did, some didn't. In Guatemala, it's more they wear masks, but it's only really in the two big cities, Guatemala and Shela. I never really went up to the lake the last time I was there, so I don't know about there. I'm thinking about visiting there, just checking it out, seeing what's going on next time I'm there. I didn't get to go to El Salvador. I'm stuck on stupid. I hate to spend $100 just to cross the border. You have to have a PCR test. You can't go in on antigen. Antigen is like $15-20. But anyways, there's a few other things too I want to mention, but it will get people riled up. What I will say is land borders are totally different than flying in an airplane. I'll tell you why, because just 2 days ago, 1 or 2 days ago, an American was asking, like, can I cross the land border from the United States into Mexico? Because they said I went online and it says you can't, but you can. And not only can you can walk across, take a car across. a friend of mine just went across, and then other people had commented to her. They did too, and it's frustrating because I go online too. When I was coming back from Mexico into the States 2 or 3 months ago, I think a couple months ago actually, I had read that it was closed, but it really wasn't. And when I got up to the border, the gate's locked. You just say hello, hello, or whatever, and then some dude asks you if you're a U.S. citizen, and they let you cross. I also know they let Canadians across, so I don't know why they're asking if I was a U.S. citizen, but that's what it is now, I guess. But by the time, I think in the next couple months, a lot of these protocols will be done. We'll have to wait and see. So far, from what I've seen online, people are digging their heels in, at least in the United States. A lot of there's quite a few states not going along with all this. There's quite a few companies, businesses not going along. So we'll have to see how it goes. But the thing is, my view is it's not really that. My view is some of the draconian, like George Gammon talks about, since one of the viewers mentioned him. He's talked about this more than I see other like YouTubers talking about it. This facial recognition thing has been going on for a long time, and the Chinese put some stuff like that into Peru. I just know that because I know some engineers that were aware of it. That's all I want to say about that. But anyways, this stuff is going on everywhere, and I just see it where a lot of this stuff won't be all that effective in Latin America, even if it's there. And what I see going on for business, like if you're an entrepreneur, business people, like George Gammon was, well, I'll just generalize. Like if you're a small business or a small business entrepreneur, it's going to get tougher and tougher. That's what I don't like. I don't really care as much about I care about the vaccines and all that shit, but like if you're an entrepreneur, you make money, some of the things that are happening right now that are coming down the line is going to make it very difficult for you to maintain a U.S. bank account in the future. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say you full of shit. That's cool, man. I just know quite a few people that have their banking, large capital, like really big blue chip banks just shut their accounts out. Yeah, they scramble. Yeah, they worked it out. They found other banks, but I don't know how much longer you're going to do that. That's partly why I talk about crypto. I mean, I'm not saying it's the solution. I'm just saying I can see why it's becoming popular, because as first world countries start cracking down on your bank account, like what the hell are you supposed to do? Again, when you get a residency or second pass, you can get other banking options. And I think those banking options will still be good and maintain them if you have them. But as people copy the U.S. and the EU, it's going to go everywhere. But anyways, before that all happens, it'll take a long time. And I just prefer Latin America or the Philippines, or pick your country, wherever you like. But it's a smaller country that is not going along with this, or it's maybe going along with it, it's dragging its heels, not really enforcing this stuff. For what I do, having the ability to transfer money and do lots of things like that is really necessary. Like if you're going to live overseas, you got to have access to your money, but that's one of my concerns. That's partly why I prefer, I guess, to bug out to other places, because banking in other places is still kind of, hate to say quill and ink, but it won't be shut down anytime soon. Whereas banking in the U.S. and parts of the EU, they're just going to go hard on people, and just like entrepreneur in cars are saying, like you reach your limit on A, B, and C, they're going to cut off your ATM card. You reach your limit on cigarettes and booze, they're going to cut that off. You reach your limit on like how far you can drive. There's actually stories where, like, I don't know, I didn't verify them, but like you can only drive your electric car so far, and they're going to shut it off internally because you drove too much or whatever, because of the carbon tax or the carbon thing that's coming. Stuff like that. I just prefer to be in a lesser developed country where you can't really enforce that stuff, and don't even have electric cars. And well, they do, but it's not a big thing in Latin America, at least not yet. But like entrepreneurs in cars was saying, we're getting closer and closer to that in places like Canada. And like he was saying, I think it's going to happen more in Canada first than the U.S., or the U.S. will be last, in my opinion. So anyways, that's just my feeling on it. You guys got to decide how it's going to go. It's partly why, though, I have diversified my banking in various places, because the convenience of some of these big banks that I've been using come at a high cost and that they can shut your account off for any reason. And it looks like, at least now, they're going to try to lean on the banks to do some more stuff. So, like, if you do business or if you transfer money overseas, like, this has actually happened to me and other people I know. Like you want to do a bank wire and you go into your bank and then they say, why do you want to do it? And then you'll say, well, it's my money. I just want to spend my, if you don't give us a satisfactory reason why you're wiring your money overseas, we're not going to let you do it. So they're basically telling you it's not even your money anymore. Stuff like that, if it doesn't really happen to you, I can understand you're not really as empathetic. But when it happens to you and people you know, and you're in an ass jam and you need money, and they won't even let you use your own money in your own bank account, you can't send it from point A to point B. It's distressing, and it causes a lot of chaos, and you lose faith in kind of how the system's working. So anyhow, I guess, like I said yesterday, I'm up to my head in all this. I like to say things are getting better, but it doesn't appear to me things are getting all that much better. Anyhow, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Like I said, in the beginning of the video, I put my contact details if you want to contact me for some reason. And I think tomorrow or the next time I'm going to be heading out to Mexico, Guatemala, and we'll see if I go to South America. I'm just getting more and more data to see what I may or may not need to get a residency, so we'll see. Anyways, take care, everyone.